Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Oh, that contrast today. Where is the treasure? I'm being interviewed by the Germans. The Germans. Hey, Atsuki, Eternal 80. How's it going? Hey, Louis, they're all awesome. Good morning. Glad that you're back. Captain Boss, Zutin. Good morning, sir. So, give me some topics. Let's get it on. Or if no one wants to give me a topic, I'll just paint whatever. Why? It's still. Ah, here we go. Oh, advertisement. Oh, all right. So as I was saying, how about a topic? Rot consumes. Yo, Quentin. Yeah. How's it going, man? A monster over the hill. That's pretty cool. Tick tock. So we got rot consumes, a monster over the hill. What else? What else? Hello, Frenchy Frencha. So just a topic, Frenchy Frencha. You're new here at least by de-lurking. Thank you very much for the follow. So at the beginning of the stream, it's a 30-minute stream. I ask for a topic. Any topic will do, and I will roll a dice to see which one it is. Currently, there is rot consumes and the monster over the hill. So if you want to be part of the game, suggest a topic, and maybe your topic will be chosen. Captain Boss, I shouldn't be hosting. I mean, I'm still hosting it when I'm not streaming, but I shouldn't be hosting it now when I'm talking and writing. Topics. There's only two topics. Is there only two topics? You guys have got more or less a minute left. And then I'll roll the dice. If it's 1-2, then it's the two topics. Then I'll do comfort zone. Giant centipede monster. Okay. So we got three topics. I'm going to roll the dice 1, 2, 3, and then if it's 4, 5, 6, then it's me. Why isn't what's with the dice today? It's crazy. Okay, Mecha Beetle 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Gaxix won. Mecha Beetle. Congratulations, Gaxix. Mecha Beetle. Mecha Beetle. Mechanoid Beetle. Mecha Beetle. Mecha Beetle. Okay, I got a picture in my head. I'm gonna try my trusty old technique with painting light. But I'm gonna try adding colors as well. Mecha Beetle. What was the picture? All right. Okay. I kind of have an idea. I saw a beetle like on a wall opening its wings, and there were gears inside. So mecha, I took a liberty to see mecha as mechanized and not mecha as a bipedal sci-fi war machine. Oh, Captain Boss, my apologies about the ads. It is what it is, I guess. Hey, Zelin, good morning. Yeah, so I took the liberty of seeing Mecha Beetle as a mechanized beetle. So that's what I'm going for today, and I want to try to put colors in today in a specific way. I'm gonna try not to push the values too much. I'm gonna experiment today with technique a little bit. Like yesterday with the Samurai Girl, I was experimenting as well with this paint the light technique, light only technique, or light first, I guess. I don't know what to call it. But I want to try to see if there's a really quick way to get values down and then paint. And the experiment is going to be to try to see if I can maintain the nice feel that those like light first technique gives, but with color. I don't know. Hey, Oms. Good morning. Captain Boss, I think it's AdBlock Plus could help you, or Ghostery. If you're very annoyed by the advertisement, Ghostery could help you as well, or AdBlock Plus. Hey, Captain Jetlag, good morning. Frencha, yeah, it turns a little bit like a clockwork or a beetle. Yeah, as I said, I interpreted the topic as mechanized, and that gears falls into mechanization, right? So that's my interpretation of the topic. That was the picture I had in my mind, so that's what I'm going for. I could have came up with another idea, but I kind of liked the idea of making a mechanized beetle with like clockwork insides. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Hey, Mila. Good morning. Arms has joined the fold. Okay, so we got somewhat what I was going for. Okay, let's start experimenting. We are, oh snaps, I haven't put time on. 16, let's say 25. Let's say it has gone 5 minutes. Why is it like that? I changed the time. Come on. Don't do it like that. Down from 25. There we go. Okay. So I saw warm light. Okay. Let's try something. Let's try with the overlay. I haven't really experimented much with the overlay in this technique. I have with grayscale. So what I'm going to try now is I'm going to try to kind of punch up the values a bit. I find like one thing when it comes to making illustrations, oh no, it doesn't look right. It's the wrong blue. It just turns shit. I'll tweak it. One thing that I find annoying using this technique is that it just becomes like so homogeneous. So that's what I want to kind of experiment with. To see like how and to what extent can I play with colors without taking the painting too far with the values, you know, so that I was talking the other day about process, right, and what you got to do. Why is it like that? Oh, it's because I had the selection. Oh. It's a big thing about like process, and if you just switch up a little bit, you can get so many different results. One of the things is like you can get a direct result, like a difference in the actual like way you paint, but switching something up can also change the way you think, which I think is one of the more intriguing parts of painting, like this idea about it's all weird. This weird process. We create something that doesn't exist, and it's this calculated way of explaining this thing that doesn't exist, right? Touching on the subject, like what I started ranting about yesterday about details, like the idea about balancing your details and painting the correct way. This is an extension of this, you know, like I like to try to break my thoughts to some extent, so that start questioning how you paint. Because if you don't know how you paint to some extent, you don't know your process. You know, and process goes a long way when it comes to understanding the end painting, understanding making changes in a way where it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to do a change, or being able to spot a mistake before it happens just by the fact that you know your process and you know how you do a painting or how you finish a painting. So that's I always try to break it down, break my process down a lot, and question steps. Now I don't like the way this looks at all, but that's okay. I think it's a part of the test here. Experimenting. Now I don't like this. The one thing I hate about, which I always correct in the painting when doing light first, is this kind of milkiness. I always try to somehow correct it throughout the process. And I think the way I correct it is an okay way. Usually, you know, like I maybe use color burn with a gradient or whatever to try to push the values back in, and I use contrast, hue and saturation, and all these things. But the paintings look the same. Today I want to challenge that process, but I'm still quite in the similar process, safe zone. French, I know I didn't. Well, I did go to like a college with extended art classes, like more art a week than usual, you know, like, but it wasn't any form of art school in that sense. You know, we got to play with clay, we got to play with oils and stuff, but it wasn't like painting classes or anything. It was just more hours. But I've been experimenting myself with art teaching, and like Haxic said, I'm in the process of making my own class at the moment. It's a slow process because I'm swamped with everyday stuff, kids and work, and but I used to have a class. I used to teach character design and stuff like that. But on the topic of me going to art school, no, absolutely not. I would have loved to. But now I'm self-taught. I wonder how my art would have looked if I had a classic training in art. Would I've, like, I always think, because I never went, I always think that would I be better today? Would I paint completely different today if I went and was taught by someone? I always think that, like, to what extent have I been nurtured into this personal style? You know, the whole idea of like, are you born into a certain behavior or are you nurtured into a behavior? I'm quite sure that applies to art as well. You know, like, what have you been around? What have you observed? What have you found interesting? All these things probably does affect you quite a lot in art style. And I always think, you know, like, What if I went to art school? I would have loved it in a way. I think it's a cool idea. But I grew up poor. Only as an adult, uh, I I took the opportunity to learn art. I mean, to some extent, that probably uh, affected my style as well. You know, starting to learn slightly later than everyone else. Now there's like 15-year-olds with crazy art skills. At 15, I was in drawing maybe. I don't like this picture. Not at all. This painting is horrible. Okay, so, oh, God damn it. This is really bad. Really, really bad. That's what you get for experimenting. God damn it. Well, we live and we learn, as they say. When in doubt, liquefy. No, I don't like this at all. It's a horrible painting. Horrible, horrible painting. Agaxis, no problem. It's not the topic. The topic is absolutely fine, Agaxis. Don't thank you very much for the topic. It's my process, my experimentation here that I don't like. Topic is cool. Topic is no problem whatsoever. I just don't like what I did with it. Oh, that's fair. I think it's fair to say. Gaxis, no, any topic actually for me is fine. You know, looking back at this year of doing warm-ups, we are now at 209. I have drawn so many different things throughout the year. There's no preference anymore. No preference whatsoever. It's all good fun. And I like the challenge. I like to try to make something interesting. Within 30 minutes, of course. I mean, if I would do a mechanized beetle for longer than 30 minutes, I would approach it completely different. Right? I would set up the painting better. I would, well, actually, there's no excuse to make this stupid painting this way. I think I shot myself in the foot a bit by having this very plain view. Like, thinking back, I would probably do it differently if I would do it again. I would not have it like just there. That's not interesting at all. And that's a little bit what I'm struggling with in the painting, is to making it look interesting and not just a shitty bug from a generic point of view, which it which it more or less just is at the moment. It's a shitty painting of a bug in a very generic point of view. And it's my own fault. But that being said, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying the challenge of trying to make it work. You know, that's a fun part. It's like thinking of like, okay, what's the next step? How can I make it better? How can I solve this? I mean, obviously, um, it's a stupid thing to do, but in this instance, as it's just a 30-minute stream, if I would start over, it wouldn't be any fun in the end. You know, it would be 2 half-painted sketches. If I would do it professionally, I would have not stuck with this point of view in that sense. You know, if I noticed it's wrong, it's flawed, I would just completely redo it. Which is in this instance also a good practicing of, like, I'm almost doing like a paint over myself in order to make it better. Oh, the panda. Zillion, yeah. No, but I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind doing this. It's fun experiment. It's fun. Even though I'm like struggling, I'm like angry. It's a good angry. It's a good experiment. I don't mind it at all. Okay, so the idea is all warm tones. What can I add? I can make it. Okay. Next step is to work on the shine. I'm going to slightly tweak this color dodge so it's not so orange after the fact I added everything. I want it to be a little bit more gold-like. But yeah, the process today, I'm wasting so much time repainting. I think this is a good lesson for you guys. That construction and foundation in a painting is a huge part of having a successful result. And if you have any doubt at the beginning, if it's not solid, if the idea and the pursuit of the idea is not strong enough, if you don't have like a clear path, you're going to struggle, especially as a beginner when you're learning. And you repaint a lot and the paintings will look overworked. And that's one of the reasons why doing studies are great. And that's one thing I am not showing in all these warm-ups, is the more of like the complete rework of something where it doesn't, like I mentioned, like if I would do this professionally, I would repose it, I would change the camera angle, I would, you know, make it more interesting looking. And you guys don't see that. And I just wanted to point that out, that this is not, doing these warm-ups is not the most efficient way to start a painting. And just to point out that these are warm-ups. These are meant to just to boost my creativity or warm my hand up or warm my thinking up. And it's not these sketches are not supposed to be used for anything. Like, I would never take one and do it exactly like it is and just add details. That will never work out well. But you can generate an idea and go, oh, I like that idea, I should redraw it. And then you go the full process, you know, of doing your homework, having a clear idea, what's the painting going to look like in the end, what should I start, what color should I start with, you know, draw everything up so there's a clear visual route to take. Or if you're more of an expressive painter, do quick color comps before, do quick sketches before, so that you've explored the placement of things beforehand, and then you go and do the final version where you do apply the expressive brushstrokes and so on. Otherwise, it's not going to end well. Captain Jetlag. Yeah, well, it's my own fault for experimenting with the process. Like I meant, I already said that I'm not sure about the end result with this, because I did break up my process. I wanted to experiment and see where I could take it. Obviously, I figured out that I did it wrong. I'm not happy with the experimentation, in the sense like I won't use this process again. I think that the flaw was I jumped into things too early before establishing values, in that sense that the process requires the values to be there. So if I would do this again, I would probably start with color first, but I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure actually. Captain Jetlag, no, I'm just reflecting over the process here. And you're probably right. The purpose is to reflect, being self-conscious about moves and all these things today. I wanted to question. I wanted to challenge myself in not doing comfort zone process. I wanted to try to switch it up to see. One of the things I wanted to try was adding fast, like complexity to the painting with textures and so on. Not texture, obviously, I haven't used texture, but brush marks and such. Because looking at, let's say, yesterday's Samurai Girl, it looked in a specific way. You know, it turned out nice and all, but I wanted to experiment to see if I could make it feel different, using somewhat the same process, but kind of switching it up somehow. So that was the purpose of me questioning everything. And it's all good, Captain Jetlag. I'll bust my chops as much as you want. I can deal with it. I'm thick-skinned. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, do it. Challenge me with topics. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I don't mind at all. I find it fun. I mean, this topic wasn't challenging in that sense of, oh, how should I draw a mechanized mecha beetle? That's I have had to deal with harder topics than that in the streams. It was just I wanted to mess around with my process. I wanted to break my process, and that's where I'm struggling, not the topic. But if you come up with some cool, challenging topic, throw it my way. I'd love to try to deal with it. Part of the fun of doing these warm-ups is having to do something that someone else suggests and just do it within 30 minutes. So one thing, it kind of ended up looking a little bit like I wanted to originally. For some reason in the end, even though it isn't truly what I envisioned, like the end result would look like. I started liking the painting more when I started adding bigger brush marks, and I think the lesson learned here is if you're gonna switch up the technique like this and to go to this direction that I intended to experiment towards, I gotta find a better balance between brush marks and setting the scene up. Oh, Captain Jetlag, yeah, that is great. Upside down drawing, that was so funny when we turned it around. Oh, Zalin, that's true. I forgot to continue on how to detail a painting. Just remind me tomorrow or something. Or like things to think about while doing it. Anyways, there you go. Mecha beetle. Zalin, no problems whatsoever. Just scream it loud. Anyways, thanks everyone for coming. Have a fantastic day. Good night if you're in that part of the world. This was an interesting uphill sketch. I definitely struggled getting there. Not at all happy with the result, but it did make me think, which is a good thing. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you very much, GAC6, for the topic. It was a fun topic, even though I chose to mess with it, with the process. But it was fun. I liked it. Lesson learned. I will store the information of how not to mess things up. This process I didn't like at all. Tomorrow's a new day. New experiments. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Here comes the outro. It's outro time. Outro time.